my cerebellum, where I live, I invite you.
How do you feel in your body right now?
I feel the most in my body I have for like a long time. I cut all of my hair off and I've been growing it out for like 5 years after like having a buzz cut. And I think it's the freedom of having the release of like hair. I always find that when I have longer hair, I feel a little bit more like obliged to be feminine. And also, I get noticed more by men. I feel like it's a little bit constricting to be ultra feminine in my body because I think also I have quite like hyper feminine features as well, which for a long time I rejected. So I think when I have short hair, I'm like, oh, I actually feel like myself. I acknowledge the way I look a bit more, and I'm just trying to get used to like my physical form again.
How does your body relate to things outside of yourself?
In my brain, my body's a bit of an enigma. I don't care as much. As long as I feel comfortable, I like enjoy it. As a stylist, I acknowledge that I never style other people the way I would style myself because I have to be like very aware of their form. I don't really acknowledge how like small I am until like external people tell me. I acknowledge the difference of the way I have to communicate with others if they're a lot taller than me or like the same height as me, that kind of thing. I really, really love experimenting with clothes, but I have to really acknowledge that, like, when I see a model who is a lot taller than me or like maybe has a different figure to me, I know it's not gonna sit on me in the same way.
How does your body relate to who you are?
Honestly, I don't ever really like think about it until I am like on my period because I'm like, oh, I have to acknowledge that I have like a womb. There's processes going on inside me that I can't control. But like for the rest of the month, I'm so like unaware of my physical form. I'm quite like reckless with how I use it. When I'm on my period, it grounds me a lot. This is how your body works, but it's like not something I acknowledge until it's pushed upon me by my internal body.
What is your relationship like with your body?
I don't really like acknowledge my physical form that deeply. I don't really tend to like look in mirrors that often. That might be partly to do with the way I fantasize and like romanticize fashion and like aesthetics and stuff. And sometimes I can't do that on myself all the time. I don't really have a lot of physical insecurity in the same way that I know like a lot of other people do. I just kind of don't acknowledge it. I'm kind of just like, this is my body and this is who I am. And the more I think about it, potentially the more insecure I will be.
How do you stay connected with your body?
I'm trying to like sit with myself naked more because I'm like, I need to be comfortable in this for like myself, but also if I ever wanted to be intimate with someone else, I'm like comfortable enough to be like, okay, this is what I look like, and that's okay. Quite a lot of my female friends are like, you should try doing this because it really helps you not think about it and like not sexualize yourself as well.
Have you ever had to learn to love your body? If so, how did you do it?
I think I have a very rare upbringing. I've never had to like worry about my body too much because my parents are personal trainers and like into holistic medicine and like holistic approaches to fitness. I grew up in like sportswear. That's just how my family dress. So I'd never really be like, oh, this is inappropriate. I have to feel weird about like having my body out or whatever. But I think as I got older and I like acknowledged people would find my body attractive and I didn't want that attention, I would start like wearing baggier clothes or like trying to hide my form more. And like when I lived in Germany, I would dress like very masculinely, so you just couldn't see my body at all. And I think that's the only time I've had like insecurity with it, but it was down to like the gaze of others and not like something in myself.
If there's a part of your body you don't love, describe how you would love it.
I don't really have anything that I'm like, oh, I would love to change that. Just because the only area that I would change, there is like no way I could change it, I suppose. I just think something that is like biologically given to you is like so exciting. You should just like be proud of it. But obviously, it's easier said than done.
Now we're going to look into different perspectives. Describe yourself in a way that does not relate to your body. Who are you outside of your body?
I think I'm also working that out a lot recently, but I think that my personality is like very oriented around what others give me and how I can mentally care for someone else. I also think that I have quite a like romanticized, ethereal opinion of like the world. I want to like share my view of the world with others creatively. I also think that I'm a dreamer, but I also think I'm really grounded as well and like realistic. And I would think that other people view me as like a provider and a carer and like quite a mothering role in their lives.
Now we're going to look into time. What messages did you receive about your body growing up?
I grew up in a very middle class, white dominated area. So a lot of the messages I got were kind of not hateful, but like I think most of it was curiosity. But there was a lot of comments about the size and shape of my lips or my like texture of my hair. Also, like I'll go through puberty a little bit faster than quite a lot of the other girls. But then I think as I got older, people started to just like find it more appealing because it kind of got like fashionable. So then I had like the advantage of trend privilege. So it was like very like mixed of like first of all like dissing and then starting to like romanticize and like replicate.
Are they beliefs you still hold now?
I can acknowledge that I definitely have more advantages looking the way I do, but I also think that I'm quite untraditional in my approach to how I style myself and how I present myself and the things that I like. I still find that I'm quite misunderstood, but then again, quite a lot of the attention that I do get is out of curiosity. And like I've had quite a lot of people joke about where my clothes are from. I'm like, it's cute that you are like finding interest in it, but usually it's just like if you want to try it, you should. And then a lot of people are just quite scared of being judged by others, I think. Whereas I'm kind of like, I've had it so much when I was younger that I kind of was like, I'm just going to do what I want now.
When do you feel the most connected to your body?
I think I feel the most inside my body when I'm like dancing. When I am like in a club or like at a festival or like there's music on and I like have my eyes closed and I'm just like flinging my limbs around or like just dancing, I feel like the most in my body because it's not really as like accepted to just randomly dance in the street. Do you know what I mean? So it's like the only place you really get like a chance to be completely like alone with your body and like just let go. And recently I've rediscovered yoga and that actually like helps me a lot because I'm quite like an anxious person, so I carry quite a lot of tension and I think it's a good way of like also acknowledging things about myself that's changed. When I was younger, I used to do a lot of sport. My parents are very holistic people, so I'd be like very aware of my body and like how flexible I was or like where I carried tension or that kind of thing. Now I'm kind of like rediscovering and trying to get back into the practices that my parents taught me that I was trying to be rebellious about.
When do you feel the most beautiful in your body?
I feel the most beautiful when I'm like really, really happy. Like when I have like a smile that's like infectious to others and people are like, oh my God, you're smiling so much. And I'm like, "Ah, I'm just so happy right now. I just like can't control how happy I am. That's when I feel the most beautiful, I think.
Finish these sentences for me. In my body, I feel.
In my body, I feel comfortable and experimental.
In my body, I can.
In my body, I can achieve absolutely anything.
I feel most comfortable in my body when.
I feel most comfortable in my body when I'm wearing the coolest outfit I've ever put together.
I feel most safe in my body when.
I feel most safe in my body when I'm wrapped up in bed.
I love that my body.
I love that my body tells me what it needs.
I thank my body for.
I thank my body for being a vessel to meet other bodies with. I want to leave you with a track that makes you think about how we're all just people in our body. It's about the concept of talking to someone online and then being, disappointed that you can't like physically hold them. And the whole song's kind of about like, I'm a real person and I can physically be what you need. So with that said, in my cerebellum where I live, I invite you to listen to I'm a Girl You Can Hold IRL by Buch.
Your lips glisten in that snippet of video. I could bite and suck them off, an open lipless oath.